Philosopher A.D. Jones. Hey, so they want to make your degree unofficial. They want to make your degree something that signifies that it's not good enough. How do you change a significance into an insignificance? How do you do that? How do you take something that actually costs tuition, that actually you had to use consciousness, time, effort, and just potential and focus to complete, and say it's non-essential? The same way we would take individuals who we thought was significant and make them insignificant. That's how you do that. So by you taking something that was significant, that took blood, sweat, and tears, and thought, actually had to pay for books and all that stuff, and make it insignificant, that's the same energy that's going to allow individuals who we thought was significant, insignificant. Because in the realm in which we speak in, if you look at history, the melanated was always the upper echelon of spiritual hierarchy, educational hierarchy, building hierarchy, architecture hierarchy. We were always at the top. So that would be the equivalent of like a PhD or doctorate degree. And the individuals that came afterwards that didn't have any skills, they didn't even have the skills of an associate's degree. They didn't even have a language. So the same way you're making the degree insignificant, and the profession of nursing, where you're actually caring and taking care of people, insignificant, we're going to use that same exact energy with your validation by you making it insignificant to make the non-melanated individuals insignificant. We didn't do it. You did it. Blame yourself. This is a message from the universe to you. We just be minding our own business, doing what we do. But whenever we do what we do and we make strides for what we do, you belittle, you make it insignificant, you tax it, you make it illegal, something happens. Well, you already know it's karma. That's how karma works. You actually created the energy to make yourself insignificant. Yeah, you, not us. I'm just a messenger. You have just done that to yourself. Go look in the mirror, whoever making your policies and procedures, and go blame them. Yeah, you just keep hurting yourself trying to hurt others. Them days is over. You trying to hurt other people and other spirits and hold them down is doing nothing more but locking yourself in a bind, a spiritual bind. Every time, like you just can't do the right thing, like you just can't do it. For some reason, it's not in your nature to do the right thing. You think you're gonna do it by doing the wrong thing. It's not gonna work. Them deities is not supporting you no more. They're not here. That's over with. If you're not operating in goodness and kindness and ascending and helping everybody, it ain't happening. It's gonna crumble because there's no foundation. It's only karma. Now, for those that need to be educated, let me explain to you what's happening. So I'm gonna cut straight to the chase. I ain't gonna be long-winded. I'll be brief. At the end of the day, doctors, y'all think y'all so high and mighty, y'all about to be replaced with AI. Okay? Well, I rebuke that. They're trying to replace you with AI. Nurses as well. They're trying to replace you with AI. Yes, they are. Okay? Nothing that I say is true. Hypothesis and assumption, whatever. Now, imagine being in a hospital and you have a robot that has all the tendencies of all the nurses that have ever worked in that hospital, the algorithms of their decision making. How would they get that? It's based on their charting. It's based on their charting and the successes and the failures of what they chose to do while charting. Okay? Charting is hypothetically if somebody had diabetes and you supposed to give them this amount of insulin, and the nurses gave them this amount of insulin and they had this type of effect on their body, which was good or bad, based on the person's cholesterol level, blah, 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 blah. So they take all that information, and what happens is AI computes the best possible outcome of how much insulin or how much potassium, if they got like a prostate, or if they got, not prostate, but I don't get it. It's too complicated. If they got certain organs in their body, there's pancreas. I ain't want to go deep, but if their pancreas is messing up, they need this amount and blah, 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 blah. So the AI robot is going to be able to compute it like that and be able to say, give them this and give them this. But when they give them that, that doesn't necessarily mean that's the best thing for them to have. It could be, say, you give them this and give them this, and then they could say, now we need to do this procedure, which is going to cost more money, which they could bill insurance higher. Quote unquote, this is hypothetical, it's not real. Okay? When before, spiritual individuals or individuals that have actual experience will say, no, we're going to give them this amount because they've been doing it for 20 years. You give them this amount based on their pancreas or the highest, the level of their sugar in their blood or whatever. And then this is going to happen based on their blood type. You see what I'm saying? Cholesterol levels, you know, all that. So what quote unquote they're trying to do is eliminate the wisdom of healthcare. Okay? So by them eliminating the wisdom of healthcare, all you have is individuals that are just coming in assisting the robots. Now, at the end of the day, what it looks as though they're trying to do is there's going to be people that come in that they help clean the people, of course. They might even have machines that could turn the people. They might create beds that actually turn the people. You know what I'm saying? Whoever create that gonna get rich. But it could be liability to somebody fall off the bed. You're going to get sued, and they die, you're done. So that's probably too risky. But what's going to wind up happening, they're going to have the bodies to do the basic care, you know, basic. They ain't even going to have to do basic meds unless if the people could grab it. But they still got to make sure they take them. So they still going to have people doing basic stuff. They ain't even going to need to do vitals because you got your smartwatch on. They're taking your vitals all the time. Duh. They know your heart rate. They know when you sleep. They know how many times your heart beat at night. They know how many breaths you take at night when you sleep over the duration of. They know all this stuff. So all that stuff going to be uploaded to their computers. So when you go to the hospital, they're going to already have your information. Download it into the robot. And you could be a brand new patient. They just get it out the cloud. You've been wearing a smartwatch. That's on you, dummy. I'm going to stop. Okay, I'm going to be good. Some people are dumb. But anyway, ignorant. Some people are ignorant. But okay. And doctors, you think you high and mighty and safe? You going to be gone. They not going to need you. They going to have robots that's going to be able to do the surgeries down to the super millimeter. All of that ain't even going to need you no more. Okay. The only people that's going to quote unquote be necessary, I rebuke it. You know what I'm saying? This is what they're trying to do. So I rebuke it. This is what they're trying to attain. Who is they? I don't know. Invisible Hand? I don't know. Read your economic books. The older ones. Basically, they're going to need bodies. Okay? You have to have physical bodies in this realm to make things official. Melanated, specifically. But, you know, you could use other ones as well. They're going to need signatures. Okay? To validate it. The signature of the individual to say they gave them their meds and certify their vitals. Not take them. To certify them to make sure it's correct, a signage from what the robot said. And they're going to have managers who manage all of these people across the board in the hospitals. And there's going to be a director over the robots, but it has to be a person because that's the way they're able to build. The person has to sign off on what the AI robot has done in order to be able to build insurance. You get it? Good. So doctors, nurses is now, doctors, y'all on the chopping block next. Because at the end of the day, it's about, well, it's about a lot of things, but it's about how much currency can they save and make, as well as how much pain they can harness during the procedures. If they're short on screams and hollers and extreme pain, the AIs is already going to be able to calculate, we got to do this procedure because we need this scream energy. We need this energy from certain ailments. We need that pain energies for the archons so they could remain in this realm. So basically you're battling the archons and the individuals that's actually following and listening to them so they can have an existence in this realm. That's the purpose of them even being here, to serve the archons and the deities that try to come that can't. So it's like it's like at this point it's mental. And I ain't gonna go into the other species that might be feeding them the information so they can continue to get their resources from the planet. You know what I'm saying? They gotta feed them what they need. And I get it. Look, I'm not a hater. One thing y'all know, I ain't no hater. So I understand both sides. They trying to stay here in this realm. I get it. It's bliss. I get it. They trying to eat. They can't use our energy no more. So do not give it to them. Okay? They cannot harness the melanated energy. So they have to get it from somewhere else. They can get it from their own. Let them get it from their own people or whoever else, but not us. They cut off from us. Keep that in mind and keep reiterating it and keep speaking that in this realm. They're cut off from us. They cannot harness our energy, period. They can't. Now, if you give it to them willingly, that's on you. That's on you. But they can't just take it like they used to, okay? Anything else? Owls, y'all out here? Frogs? Gators? We just got the crickets tonight. Just the crickets. You know what I'm saying? So, other than that, that's what's going on with the associate degrees and the nursing. So, I'm going to make another video pertaining to that as well, but this one kind of long, so I'm going to stop. Till next time, Philosopher 80 Jones, the God Creator. You heard me?